If I had to choose just one for this specific case, I would go with the 4 horses in the fingers because I want to treat the acute, I want to take down the itchiness, and I want to act especially on the face. And the fact is that within 2 sessions, we completely stopped having new spots, and the spots we had were already starting to shrink, and they were a lot less red. Hi and welcome back to the channel. First of all, I want to apologize for the long time I've been without posting and thank every one of my followers that sent messages saying they were worried, asking if everything was alright. Well, it was. The only problem I was having was just too much work. Lately, I've been traveling a lot to teach. I traveled all throughout Europe teaching courses on Master Tung and on balanced method acupuncture. And that plus my work in the clinic made it very hard for me to have enough time to record videos and edit them. But fortunately now, for the rest of the year, it will calm down a little bit. I still have some traveling to do, both to teach and for some conferences, but it will be much less. So I think I'll be able to start posting again regularly. So if you've missed me, I'm back. And if you're new to the channel, just keep checking it out because I'm going to be posting regular videos as I was doing before, trying to do at least once a week with clinical cases, points, and all of that. So please keep checking the channel. Today I'm bringing you 2 of the most important Master Tung points for skin problems. And this comes because I happen to have 2 different cases, but cases related to dermatology, where I used both of these points, and it made me think that I know that a lot of people use one of the points that I'm going to be talking about, or one of the sets of points that I'm going to be talking about a lot, but the other point I think is widely underused, and in some situations it might even be more important than the other one. And as you might have imagined, if you know Master Tung Acupuncture, the main set of Master Tung points for skin problems are the 4 horses. This, as you can see here, is a set of 3 points along the thigh, and you'll find them over the stomach channel. The first point is 5 Tsun proximal to the top border of the knee. Then going through the stomach channel, you have the second point 2 Tsun proximal, and the third point 2 Tsun proximal again. So this will be 5, 7, and 9 Tsun proximal to the knee. The points are 88, 17, 18, and 19, and they have the shunjing of the liver plus the lung. And these are the Master Tung points to treat both the lungs, so respiratory problems, and the skin problems. So with these points, you can pretty much use them in any skin condition. So from psoriasis to acne to acute dermatitis, contact dermatitis, eczema, any kind of problems related to the skin. You'll also be able to use them in most problems related to the lungs, being this the Chinese version, so even Wei Qi, so immune system problems, but also physical lung problems, so asthma and complications from COVID, any kind of lung problems too. But in the context of this video, I wanted to talk about the application for the skin. And I'm sure almost every Master Tung practitioner will tell you, yes, this is my number 1 point for skin conditions. But the thing that made me do this video today is that there is a second point called the 4 horses, which are the 4 horses of the fingers. This is 11.07, as you can see here. And these points, as the name will probably tell you, are in the fingers. This is a set of 3 points on the F line of the index finger, and as you see, they are in the middle phalanx, and the points also have the shunjing of the lung. But if you think about it in terms of channels, these points are on the large intestine channel. And again, the points may have a lot of indications for lungs, treat inflammation of the pleura, can treat chest pain, some respiratory issues, and also a lot of problems related to the skin. So skin diseases in general, allergy, dermatitis, eczema, and particularly indications of skin problems in the face. And what makes this point very special, and in some situations makes me use it even more than the regular 4 horses, although these points are very good combined, which is actually what I did in the cases I had this week, is these points might be very good for, first, acute problems where it's just starting but you already see a lot of redness or something like that, and also problems in the face. This is for 2 reasons. First, because they are in the fingers. As we know, the fingers are more young than the legs, especially the thigh. And although this is not a strict rule, in Master Tung Acupuncture you can think about the fingers as being more yang and the thigh as being more yin, and apply the points in such a way. So if the problem is more chronic, more yin, you think more towards points in the thigh, and if the problem is more yang, more acute, with more symptoms in that moment, and you want to control those symptoms, maybe you'll want to think more about yang points, like points in the finger. Again, this is not a strict rule, but you can think of this as a guideline for choosing points. And both the cases I had this week, one of them was a case of very strong allergy from someone that was traveling, and they happened to pass through Porto, and they came to my office. So I needed a very quick action because the person was flying in a short time, going back to her country, and she was having a lot of itchiness, a lot of redness. She had a lot of red spots, and most of it was neck and face. So I thought, well, the 4 horses will work here, but I think the 4 horses in the fingers might even be better for this. So we can use these points to treat the symptoms and make it better for the person, so she can travel back and then look for more continued help if she needs to do so. As I said, in this case, I combine the 4 horses in the leg because it's skin with the 4 horses in the fingers. But if I had to choose just one for this specific case, I would go with the 4 horses in the fingers because I want to treat the acute, I want to take down the itchiness, and I want to act especially on the face. And I actually had a second case that made me use these points and think about this distinction, which is actually a patient that I've been following for a long time. She has a very hard case of psoriasis that shows up on and off. We've been able to mostly control it. I've been following this patient for almost a year. So now we're just doing one session every now and then to help control it, and she's been very well. But what usually happens to this patient is when she has some more stressful event or something, or if she gets sick, she'll get a spike in psoriasis and she'll get a lot of red spots very quickly. And then once the red spots are established, it's very hard to bring it back. And she came this week because she didn't even have an appointment. She had to call for an emergency appointment because she had some problem in her life. I think it was regarding booking vacations or some stressful situation. And the psoriasis just started showing up with a vengeance. So very strong, very red, a lot of spots. And it was mostly in her face. So she came seeing if we could stop it. And the biggest problem was she was leaving in a week because she had her vacation, so we could only... So with that plus my schedule, we would only have time to do 2 sessions. So again, I decided to work with the 4 horses to stabilize everything, but at the same time with the 1107 to help stop the progression of the disease and cut the symptoms as much as we could. And the fact is that within 2 sessions, we completely stopped having new spots, and the spots we had were already starting to shrink, and they were a lot less red. And the patient was able to go on vacation with what I think is a controlled case of psoriasis that won't keep worsening as time goes on. So the take-home message from this video is not 1107 is better than the classical 4 horses of the leg, but these are 2 points that first of all combine very well together, but also points that you need to learn the difference. So the horses on the thigh are more stabilizing, therefore chronic problems. Again, this doesn't mean that you can't use these points for an acute problem, but by themselves it might not be enough. And On the other side, we have 1107, amazing for acute problems, amazing for problems in the face. This doesn't mean that you can't use the 4 horses of the fingers for a more chronic problem, especially if combined with other points, but it's a very important point to think about when considering acute problems. And this kind of reasoning is very important for Master Tung practitioners. I see a lot of my students and a lot of people commenting on my videos and on my online posts that, well, I've studied Master Tung usually through books, and the problem is now I have a bunch of different points that have the same indications. In which situations should I choose the 4 horses? In which situations should I choose the 4 horses of the fingers? And you'll see that you have situations like this with a lot of different points with different indications, that you see points that appear similar if you just look at the indications, but according to the locations, to the Shenjing, to the channels that are close by, you'll see that there are different situations where each point will be more indicated than the other one. That's why I advise everyone to look for a good Master Tung teacher that can guide you through this process, because it's very hard to learn it through books, because there's a lot more than point indications, and it's very hard to be a good and competent Master Tung practitioner if you're just following point indications. And this is the video I have for you. Again, for my longtime followers, sorry for the long hiatus since my last video, and keep checking the channel because I will start posting regularly from now on, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and share this video with anyone that might benefit from it, and I'll see you in the next one.